What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great night. We are here because, well, tomorrow the OTAs begin. So just wanted to give you a little bit of information. Hopefully you all had yourselves a great weekend, an enjoyable holiday. Obviously, this is a day where we remember those lives we've lost. So, look, prayers to those families, and a shout out to all the people still out there doing it. But hope you guys all stayed safe, had a great time out there. But we're gonna go through. We're gonna look at the OTAs. We're gonna give you some dates here where you see the mandatory mini camp. My lord, I'm recording this, but we're gonna keep it now. Also, the training camp. We'll talk about that, and then we'll look at some position battles we're gonna be looking forward to. So. Let's jump right into this. Appreciate you guys taking the time here, hitting that like button, sharing, subscribing. It's been such a long weekend for me. Can't believe I've got to go right back to work tomorrow. So, but I'd love to hear from you. Hope you guys are all doing well. Let's rock and roll here, and let's take a look at the dates. And again, tomorrow you're going to have OTAs beginning, and then you'll have them on 28th and the 30th as well. Then June 2nd and 3rd, and then the 5th will be the last day for OTAs. So 6 days total there, you could see. And then they come back on June the 10th for mandatory minicamp. And remember, these OTAs, they're just, it's the non-contact stuff. They're just really installing stuff. We've got a new offensive coordinator, so Kevin Patullo going to be doing his thing. Vic Fangio's got a lot of new pieces. So we'll have, position drills. You'll see who's lining up where. Those are the things we're looking forward to. And then training camp, this is something where it's usually at the end of July. Last year it was the 23rd. So look, when that day comes, I will let you know. But right now, this is what we've got coming our way. And this will hopefully, get us a little closer to some of these questions we need the answers to. So we're going to look at right here, right now, some of these battles. Will start it off on offense, and these are the things I cannot wait to find out. Who is going to be the right guard on offense here? You've got Tyler Steen here, who was drafted to be that guy. Obviously, Becton did so well, but he walks. Now you've got Steen. You brought in Pryor. He's got work there. Keegan, Kendall, Green, Kennard. You've got options here. You've got competition, and when you see a position here, this is just showing everyone that's going to be battling not just for that certain spot, but all the spots behind it. So you get the point here. But running back 2 is up next, and Will Shipley, A.J. Dillon, Lou Nichols, Derek Powell, and then you got Johnson there. You've got some back-end guys I'm going to put here, but it's really Shipley and Dillon. And look, I think Ship is the future, and him behind Saquon, maybe A.J. Dillon's here to get some of that goal line work, but we still have the tush push, and we have Saquon Barkley. So we'll find out what happens there if one of these young guys wants to take the job. And then tight end 2, Cal Quintera. Harrison Bryant was brought in. E.J. Jenkins is here. Granson was brought in. You got Latu and Muse as well. So competition right now. Goddard is back. He's here. So he didn't go anywhere, but there was a lot of talk that he would. He got restructured. Love that he is still here, but who wants to be the guy, beyond him and maybe be the future here? Still think next year in the draft you'll have to look there. Right here, right now, these are the options. And then wide receiver 4, Johnny Wilson, Anais Smith, Terrace Marshall was brought in. Danny Gray is there. Elijah Cooks. Got Jackson Cooper and Morin. So a lot of options here behind, obviously, the top 3, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jahan Dotson. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does, but I think those are locked up. But who wants to be the number 4? Who wants to be the number 5? A lot of guys there, but we'll see who wants to step it up. One of the draft picks, one of the free agent signings, we shall see. And then who wants to be QB3? I think, obviously Tanner McKee proved he should be the backup quarterback. That's why Kenny Pickett was traded. But you got Dorian Thompson-Robinson back in that trade. Very exciting. But then you drafted Kyle McCord. So going to be some good competition. I like both those guys. Going to be fun to watch. 2 completely different skill sets there. So going to be fun this offseason. These preseason games should be exciting with those guys as the quarterbacks. And, well, you can see the depth chart for yourself Clearly, I feel most of the other positions are pretty, well thought out here. Now the backup tackles, Lamb, maybe one of the young guys, Hinton or Cameron Williams wants to take that spot. So Pierce, these are positions I'm going to be looking into. And once we get closer to training camp, I will have the position battles, all that great stuff we go through each year. But this is just something to give you an idea of what's going on here. But this is the offense, and you can see the key there at the bottom. The undrafted guys, the drafted guys, the free agents, the traded players, the reserve future guys, all color coded for you. And you can see all of the battles there at each position. And you can tell me what your favorite position is, who you think is going to win these positions. But that is the offense. So again, love to hear your thoughts on that. What you are looking forward to, who you think, maybe a surprise that's going to make this team somebody that gets cut, whatever it is. But let's jump right into this defense now, and we've got some good ones here. So who's going to be opposite Quinyon Mitchell? We know that Coop is the nickel. Hell yeah, best in the game. But who wants to be the other guy outside? Kaylee Ringo, hopeful to be the future there. But, you brought in Adore Jackson. Mac McWilliams, more of a nickel corner. Eli Ricks, man, not so sure. And, the rest of these guys, more so nickel backs than they are outside corners, in Tariq Castro-Fields, Perry Nickerson, A.J. Woods, and then B.J. Mays there. So you've got some competition here at corner. I'm really hopeful Kaylee Ringo is that guy. We'll find out. Maybe you add someone in free agency. I will have a free agents show coming out here soon. But that's what we have right now. So looking forward to seeing how things line up. And then at safety, Reed Blankenship is clearly number one. But you got rid of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You drafted Drew Makuba, so he's going to compete with Sidney Brown for time with Tristan McCollum, Lewis Seen, Andre Sam there, Maxon Hook, and then Johnson. I mean, you've got a lot of competition here at safety. So a lot of people talking about needing to get Justin Simmons. I like Justin Simmons, but got a lot of young pieces that fit what Vic Fangio is trying to do, and I think could be some excitement there watching these battles. So looking forward to that. Then at edge, Nolan Smith's the guy. I think Jalix Hunt could be that number two. I think he should be, but Joshua Uche, Aziz Ojulari, these guys are healthy. I think in this system, they could thrive. So don't be surprised when those guys is starting. But Huff is here. Drafted Powell Ryland. Patrick Johnson was brought in. Mathis and Henry are here. So a lot of competition at the edge. We'll see who these backups are going to be. But looking forward to seeing if Jalix Hunt can be that number two guy. Then a linebacker, you have Jihad Campbell there. And look, I don't know if Nakobe Dean is going to be healthy. So that's why we're looking at, is it going to be Campbell? Can he start as a rookie? Do we want to keep him healthy as well? I think he should be. I think Trotter Jr. should be that starter. But Smile Munden, he looks really promising. I'm looking forward to seeing him. Special teams ace, hopefully, for this team and part of the future here. But Dallas Gant, Lance Dixon there also to compete. So we'll see if anybody wants to step up there. But looking forward to this linebacker room and seeing if Nakobe Dean can be healthy to be paired with Zach Bond and how soon it'll be before Jihad Campbell starting. And then interior D-line. As we go down, it's the less I'm worried about it. I think we're all right here with Ojomo. And then you drafted Ty Robinson. I love that. Thomas Booker, Byron Young, Gabe Hall. So you've got competition here, and I like it a lot. Jordan Davis is your number two, your nose tackle, next to your clear number one, Jordan Davis. But the guys, you're going to keep a few of them. You're going to have a rotation. Ty Robinson could be starting sooner rather than later. But I love Ojomo. And I think even Booker, Young has some upside. Gabe Hall I really like. So I really like this competition, but I'm not worried about it. Not so questioned. I think it's a strength having a lot of guys there. So excited about the defense. You can see the defense here yourself. Make your own decision as to who the best lineups are who the best, position battles are going to be. But you can see all the guys that we've replaced, Sweat and Milton Williams and Gardner Johnson and Slay, in-house right here, the way I have it. These guys are not set in stone as starters, but just the way things are right now, it's all guys we've drafted before or signed, getting ready for these moments, knowing those guys were going to be free agents. So I'm excited about the future of this team. I still think they're building a dynasty here, and going to be a lot of competition, and I'm really, really excited about it. And, well, don't fear. I also threw together, the specialist, because we never leave them out. And we already know the kicker, punter, long snapper, but the return specialist. Who wants to be the kick returner, the punt returner? Can you do both? Avery Williams can, Anaya Smith can. So we'll see if those guys maybe lock up a job being able to do that. Guys like Mac McWilliams, Giles Jackson, Taylor Moore, and Shanderick Powell, Will Shipley, John Dotson all have the capability. There's other guys on this roster. We'll see who they actually use as return guys, and maybe we'll get a little taste of that here at OTAs. So here's a list of some of the guys excited that we actually have some return men. Avery Williams, someone signed that can actually just return the ball, and he's really good at it. So it's going to push Anaya Smith, and I'm really looking forward to that. But here is your depth chart for the specialist. And again, you see Elliott, Mann, Hewlett. There is no competition. Hewlett was signed to replace Lovato. Obviously, we had some kicking issues. Maybe that was due to the snapping. So Charlie Hewlett, the veteran, brought in. And then you can see the rest of the guys I have here for the punt returning and kick returning. You can see Avery Williams and Anaya Smith, again, can do both. And so can some of these other guys like Giles Jackson and Taylor Moore. And so we'll see if anyone can solidify a job or even work their way onto the practice squad, some of these undrafted kids. But that is what I have for you here tonight. And again, I'll show you this one last time. Here are the dates. You have yourself tomorrow, and then, of course, the next day, and then the 30th. Then June 2nd and 3rd, and the 5th, followed up by the mandatory minicamp on June 10th, and then we'll get the dates for training camp a little later. Last year it was on the 23rd, so near the end of July, I'll let you know. But if you got something from this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this bad boy, subscribe, join the family. But I hope you guys are all having yourself a great night. If you need anything, you can always reach out. Doesn't have to be about the birds. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!